Thank you for tuning in to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast, a no judgment zone podcast that covers lifestyle, entertainment, news, and sports. Even though KC doesn't watch sports, but these are minor details. By the way, he reads tarot cards too. Yes, I really mean it. He reads tarot cards too. And now, the host you've tuned in for, KC Phoenix.
Welcome to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix. And yeah, here I am. All right. Something interesting happened. I looked in my email and Spotify sent me something. And it's something that they send for the Spotify podcasters. And it's weird that they send it now because 2021 isn't necessarily over yet. One would think they would send it at the end of December, but they sent it at the beginning of December. Now, before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. And back to this, it's more of what they are showing, as in how they send it out to their podcasters to show how the show has done throughout the year. It is what's happened. And I had to bring it up because I was looking at the emails like, oh, this is kind of interesting. So yeah, I just want to go over some of this stuff with you. Excuse me. Still waking up. I'm more awake now because I literally just got out the shower. So yeah, definitely a shower will wake you up if you aren't awake. So okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and go into this. And for those who don't know, my podcast is on Anchor. Anchor is owned by Spotify as well. So yeah. So it says, Keeping It Real with KC. Welcome to your 2021 Wrapped. Let's go. Let me click on Let's Go. And then it starts bringing up all of this stuff. It says, first things first. You had a lot of firsts this year. All right. And it says on January 1st, you released your first episode of the year, which was the My Daily Thought, the 99, which volume 99, the My Daily Thought volume 99. It's a new day. So that's what I released on January 1st of 2021. And it says, that's gotta feel good. So I think that's funny. All right. And then it said, your show made some new friends in new places. You got your first streams in 3 new countries. These places loved you the most: Australia, Hong Kong, and Romania. So shout out to Australia, shout out to Hong Kong, shout out to Romania. I've given these countries, I'm pretty sure I gave Romania a shout out before. If I didn't give a shout out to Romania, I'm doing it definitely now. I know I've given a shout out to Australia and Hong Kong before. So thank you to my listeners in Australia, in Hong Kong, in Romania as well. So it seems like this year, the podcast reached those 3 countries where last year my podcast did not reach those 3 countries. And it more than likely has something to do with the distribution, because I'm trying to remember, I was working on my distribution and I forgot when I could pull it up with an Excel spreadsheet because I had it on there when I submitted for iHeartRadio. Let me see if it's on here because I don't feel like digging through all of this stuff. Yeah, it's not where I can pull it immediately. Or wait a second. You know what? I think I can. Give me 1 second. I want to check something. I have to look at my podcast distribution platform. When did I submit for that? Do I have a date when I submitted? I have approved. I don't have a date. When did I submit for iHeartRadio? Does it say? No, I didn't put a date on when I submitted. I just put notes and so on and so forth on how long it could take. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, it doesn't give me a date, sadly. But I have a feeling that when I was setting up my distribution on more platforms, because like I mentioned before to my listeners, that was my goal. One of my biggest goals was to make sure my podcast was available, because I wasn't really worried about the listenership. I was more worried about the distribution. And I know that's weird. Some people are like, when you want to have more listeners, like, no. I want to know that my podcast is everywhere first, or available everywhere first, and then I can focus on the listenership, as in bringing in more listeners and doing that. So distribution was a huge thing for me, and I accomplished that goal. And I'm pretty sure I did start this in 2021, more than likely, or at the end of 2020 is when I was gung-ho on distribution. So yeah, long story short, 3 countries in 2021 I picked up were Australia, Hong Kong, and Romania. Let's see what some of the next ones are. All right. Let me go down. Okay, it said that you had some impressive growth this year. We can't wait for what you do next. It says followers. This year in 2021, everything literally increased in my podcast over 999%. Every category. From followers, from hours, from streams, from listeners. Everything increased from what it was from 2020, from what I did. Everything increased exponentially with my podcast. And I'm going to tell you more about my listeners in a moment, because I mentioned them before, but I'm going to also let you in on something else. It says in 2021, you and your fans had a moment, many of them actually. And it says, okay, so 8 people listen to my podcast more than any other podcast on Spotify. Meaning, which also, I was seeing something on Twitter that was sort of, I don't want to say it was trending, but I was like, why are they talking about Spotify all of a sudden? And people were talking about how they weren't really big fans of Spotify. They were just like, I don't like Spotify that much. But 8 of my, and I don't like to say the word fans, I say Firebirds, my Firebirds. So these 8 people, they're my Firebirds. They listen to my show. But this is the thing. These 8 people listen to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast more than any other podcast on Spotify, period. Which is amazing. And to those, and also 8 is one of my favorite numbers, if not my favorite number, because 8 is the infinity symbol. So, yeah. So definitely shout out to those 8 Firebirds for going hard for me in 2021, where you listen to my show more than any other podcast. That's like, so thank you for that. I appreciate you. It also says, we're not sure what they play in outer space, but here's what your fans around the globe listen to you. And it says 28% of your fans listen to you between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m., making it the most popular time. Thanks for keeping them company after dark. That I didn't know. This is kind of interesting that 28% of my listeners listen to this podcast between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. So I don't know what's up with that. I don't. So yeah, thank you. I guess I'm your nighttime host or something. Your third shift host. Maybe people are listening to me on third shift or something. I don't know. But regardless, thank you to the 28% of my listeners who listen to me during that time. And it says you released 10,009 minutes of content across 435 episodes. And then it says, please remember to drink water. And then it says, thank you for sharing your 2021 with us. Same time next year. And yeah, it says the synopsis of it is, it gives me, I think it says 435 episodes in 2021 in 18 countries. So this podcast is listened to in 18 countries around the world. Also, the hours, the listenership of the hours compared to 2020, again, is up. They have a plus sign, 999%. So it's up literally over 999% is what the listenership is up. But 435 episodes done this year thus far, and listened to in over 18 countries, and up 999% plus. When I looked at that, I was just like, wow. I didn't think that it was like that. I didn't think it was like that. So, and that's what I keep on saying. For some reason, like I said, my YouTube channel, it gets views here and there, but my listeners on my podcast, my listeners support me. And I thank you for that. And the strange thing is, because my podcast is so unique, it offers so many different things, my listenership is weird in a way. Because the average listenership per episode, it ranges from 5 to maybe 8 per episode. But this is the thing. My unique listeners per week averages from about 65 to sometimes 200 unique listeners a week. The reason that is because of the tarot card readings. Because with the tarot card readings, if you're a Capricorn, obviously you're not going to listen to an Aries reading unless you're like in the hardcore astrology and you know there's Aries in your chart and you're like, well, I listened to my sun sign is Capricorn, but my Venus is in Aries. So yeah, let me go ahead and listen to the Aries reading too. That type of stuff. For the most part, signs will listen to what their sign is. And because I have the tarot card readings as part of my podcast, I believe at least out of the almost 700 episodes that I've done for this podcast, at least 200 of the episodes are tarot card readings, give or take. I want to say probably about 200. And you have these different signs, so they're listening for their sign. They're not going to listen for every single sign. So you have the unique listeners for their sign. And then the people who listen to the tarot card readings may not want to listen to the lucky numbers episodes. And the people who listen to the lucky numbers episodes may not want to listen to just the regular news episodes, the wacky news that I do. They may not want to hear about the lady who tried to breastfeed the cat on the plane or whatever recently. If you haven't listened to that episode, you should listen to it. I read the article. But, or the article I did, or not article, it was more research. The Best Buy $200 membership. Some people who listen to the tarot card readings may not want to listen to that. So, I because my show offers so much, it doesn't specialize. Where, let's say that this show just specialized in tarot card readings, or it just specialized in finance, or something like that. Then the average per episode would be different. But because of the type of layout that I have with my show, it's always going to be spread out. It's always going to be different. And yeah, I could follow the trend and do what everyone else does and specialize in this or specialize in that. I'm not looking to do that for my show. I don't follow trends. I set them. That is what I do. So, yeah, for the people, whatever you listen to or even watch now, because I've been uploading, this is a video, because obviously the new thing that Spotify is doing with the video. So now I am uploading webcam videos to Spotify when I can. However you consume the Keeping It Real with KC podcast, me looking at this information for 2021, and 2021 is not closed, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you more than you know. Whatever country you are in, if you're in the United States or in Romania or in Hong Kong or in Australia or in Egypt or in Jordan, the United Arab Emirates, in Brazil, just Canada, Sweden. There's people who listen to this podcast all over the world. Clearly. Thank you. If I could say a thank you in all of your languages, I would. Maybe that would be a thing, me looking it up. I might do that sometime. I might say thank you in every language. That would be cute. As a matter of fact, I think I might do that. Don't be surprised if I drop an episode just saying a quick thank you in every language for all of the countries. Because I love languages too. That's a fun thing. But thank you so much for all of your support. Like I have always said, if I'm able to continue to give more of me, I will give it to you. I will give as much of me as I can give to you. And speaking of giving, since we're in December, I am doing a Christmas giveaway. I just don't know how I'm doing it yet. So be on the lookout for that. Also, make sure that you have a CashApp too. I should know more within the next few days, because I'm thinking of doing like a mixture of CashApp and gift certificates. And the prizes may range anywhere from $5 in increments of $5 going up to $100. And so there may be a Cash App where if you meet the requirements where you're entered in the contest, because you'll have to enter yourself in the contest once I decide how I want to do the contest. When you enter yourself in the contest, you will have to provide your Cash App. And then if I'm doing a gift certificate, I'll more than likely contact you directly requesting your email address is what I will do. So you could end up with a $20 Best Buy gift certificate. You could end up with a $100 Neiman Marcus gift certificate. You could end up with a $150 Express gift certificate. You could end up with a $50 American Express gift card. There's no telling. I'm debating how I want to work this out, but it is something I am working on. So be on the lookout. And once I've worked out the details of this contest, I will do that for the Christmas season. So yeah, thank you again to everyone for your support. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Until next time, be blessed.